Welcome, guys. I'm Kevin Orofino, Vice President of Engineering at Coeo Solutions. And as Greg alluded, I'm going to talk about a few of the high-level challenges that are facing healthcare organizations across the U.S. and really the world. With the pandemic, right? I don't think anyone has not been scrambling around trying to find a work from home, work from anywhere type solution, or increasing their presence in cloud applications such as contact centers or Microsoft Teams for Zoom or Zoom calls and things like that. And what happens with those, right, especially from a healthcare perspective, we saw this at Advocate, right? We needed to act quickly. We didn't have time to waste. There were temporary locations being set up for patients to get tested for COVID, and those things required really significant time to put behind what that solution should look like. And some got it right and some didn't. So those are challenges that I think we got it right with Advocate for sure. But those are challenges that folks weren't lucky enough to have that. And so they have things that were maybe half baked or not fully vetted that they're still trying to bring those things into the mix. With that, right, we talk about uptime. From a healthcare perspective, making phone calls and having a call fail is just not an option, right? We need to be able to talk. Patients need to be able to call into the service providers in conversely between the healthcare organization itself. They need to be able to reliably talk and have applications and have images sent and things like this. So uptime is a huge challenge that we're always facing. And as we add these different islands, if you will, think about all the people working from home are just simply new islands that are out there that now those IT organizations have to address, right, and make sure things are secure. So we increase our attack surface. So Greg was talking about these bad actors and these ransomware attacks. It's just exposing more out there for folks that want to cause havoc, and we need stronger protections, right? So these are things that are definitely on the agendas that we see people asking us on a daily basis, right? And then, as you also alluded to, the legacy systems and the integration. I'll talk more about that in the M&A space. But then the biggest one for everyone is cost, right? So I was playing golf with a finance guy from a large medical supplier here in Columbus, Ohio, and he said, "Yeah, I can't believe it. Pre-pandemic, a shipping container cost $2,000. Today, it's $25,000." And I thought I heard him wrong. I didn't. I got it verified by 2 other people, and it's just incredible. So they can't take that cost and pass it along to the downstream consumer, which is you and I, which is great. However, the businesses are being hit with that, and Joe can allude to these in his talk as well. But that's something that we start looking at other areas, and telecom expenses is typically a large piece of any business that's operating successfully. So that's always a target place. So you can go to the next slide, Brian. So what I broke down here is really 3 areas of tackling most of these challenges, right? And as Eric said, there's plenty of other opportunities and challenges that are out there in different solutions, but these are the 3 main high-level areas for solutions, right? So we talk about redundancies. Organizations are bringing in different providers for your bandwidth and your data connections, and so you have 3 different providers, say, and now you have 3 different support organizations and 3 different contacts that you have to work on, 3 different bills. And so there's plenty of overhead that's being wasted there. So what folks are looking for is aggregate carriers that can actually bring in that same underlying carrier, but as an aggregate. And so you source down to a single point of contact for all of your support and billing. It saves you money in the long run and saves you headaches, right? So these are things that we see and we do on a daily basis. And then in terms of our SD-WAN offering, we have an SD-WAN offering using Versa technologies, and this helps us attack some of those challenges with visibility into your network, right? Providing you some orchestration, some monitoring, analytics that you just didn't have before at a layer 7 perspective, so that you can You can find out if people are chewing up your bandwidth doing YouTube videos and downloading those types of things. And you can steer that correctly down the right path and leave bandwidth for your critical applications, such as voice, right? Another thing it does, it provides you site security, site-to-site encryption, so that's security for HIPAA and all the other certifications that we need to abide to are just inherently part of that solution. Another key benefit from an SD-WAN solution is you take these aggregate circuits that are coming into an enterprise, and the most likelihood of the failure is at that circuit level. So in most businesses, they can take a hit and the calls can drop and they can re-originate and the call will complete to over another circuit. And that's fine for a lot of businesses, but for healthcare, it just can't happen, right? We've got to keep that call up. And so whether you're doing BGP or some higher level routing protocols to help with that, or you can use an SD-WAN solution to help you combat that so your voice can stay up. So if calls are coming over circuit A and that takes a fiber hit, the call will stay up and we'll send the packets with an SD-WAN overlay over circuit 2 or circuit 3, and nobody loses voice path, which is what it needs to be. And then as we start to talk down at the third level is the session border controller space, right? And this is where Ribbon comes into play. They provide carrier class SBCs and routing technology that every carrier in the world is using. And we're no different. And we've taken that and we pushed it down into the healthcare industry. And this is what allows Joe and his team at Advocate to be successful, put everything into their control that can be in their control. We're doing secure voice. We're doing an HA architecture. If calls are up on one SBC and there's a hardware failure, all the calls transfer over to the backup SBC and there's 0 calls dropped. Up to 100,000 calls have been tested and they fail over seamlessly, which is just incredible. And then you have your centralized routing policies and the ability to bring in and connect disparate PBXs and systems is just I can't describe how awesome it is when you can bring in that type of a solution for a company like Advocate Aurora Health that has a couple of different locations and different things that they want to connect to, such as different contact centers and UCaaS solutions that are dispersed through different departments. It's just beautiful to be able to seamlessly walk in and provide a solution for that type of an environment. Next slide here, Brian. And then really, I look at the M&A landscape as really just all those challenges that you're facing is really just escalated, tenfold, right? It's those challenges on steroids. So, you just imagine if companies are coming together that have the same, or they have different technology. So you may have an Avaya PBX, an Alcatel PBX, a Lucent PBX, a call manager. Some of them are all legacy, some of them are SIP enabled. And the biggest challenge is how do we bring these together underneath one umbrella and really utilize the benefits that SIP and the new technology provides to us, right? And so, along with Ribbon's core SBCs, there are edge SBCs that are there that help with that legacy analog PRI handoffs, and it allows you to stage, at the end of the day, your strategic migration of bringing these companies together very seamlessly and very much at your own pace, right? And that's been one of the biggest things that I think we've seen, even at Advocate and other healthcare provider healthcare enterprises throughout the country, right? So I think that is the biggest, challenge that the companies have. And I think we were talking about this the other day. What really makes this all work is really the partnerships, right? And so we look at obviously Advocate's a customer of Coeo, but they're also a partner, and we're their partner, and we have a great partnership with Ribbon. And I think that is, really what gets us through these types of solutions that are needed for today's, healthcare industry to stay up and fully operational 100% of the time. So, with all that said about partnerships, I can't imagine a better partner to showcase and to be proud of what we've done there, and excited to hear Joe talk about all the things that we did with them. And